Hi and welcome to the Three Cups Full blog. I'm Sharanya Naidu. I'm a life coach, and at Three Cups Full we talk about love, acceptance and respect. And when those three cups are full, we feel full on the inside and the outside world reflects it back to us. We also talk about our inner voice and how to follow the guidance from our inner voice, the voice of our soul, so that our path unfolds before us, the path of our soul, not the path of our mind. So that's what we talk about at this blog. What I wanted to share with you today is an experience I had on Saturday night, which was something I dragged my husband along to, and he ended up loving it. It was an African drumming workshop, a Cacao Ceremony, which is cacao powder. It's like a chocolate, bitter chocolate drink, 100% cacao, with yoga, and it was just phenomenal. It was such a great evening. It was good to do something that's so different from what we know, and I wanted to share with you something that the teacher taught us. The drumming teacher taught us. She had been to West Africa and learnt so many of their ways from the kind of indigenous tribes. And the drumming is such a community thing. It's such a spiritual thing to be part of, where each member of the circle, we all had our own drums, which I didn't realize. I thought we'd just be listening to some expert play the drum and then we just kind of would listen to it and enjoy it. But no, we participated. Everyone had their own drums. But each person in the circle is part of the whole. There's no superstar. There's no expert. We're all in it together, and it was a beautiful community of song and spirituality. It was absolutely gorgeous. And one thing that the teacher, actually many things, but one thing I would like to share is this calling that the drums would do. So there'd be the grandmother drum and the child drum, and they were almost the leaders of the circle, and the rest of us would follow these two drummers. The grandma drum was like this bass, low kind of a sound, and the child drum was a higher pitched, beautiful sounding drum. And so the grandma one, I kind of kept the rhythm, kept the bass, and the child drum was the one that would just bring in all the waves and the melodies and the beauty, the little nuances in the sound. So we were listening to the child drum, and we were learning how to lead and follow based on the calling of the child drum. The teacher was playing the child drum, and there was this beautiful guy who was on the grandma drum. And the teacher was teaching us like a little bit of the spirituality of the community that she learnt this beautiful sacred music from. She explained that the philosophy of the way they saw the world, and she taught us certain syllables, words that would help us kind of imbibe the energy of what we were doing. It wasn't just banging and music. It was spiritual. It was community. It was unity with the outside world, with the universe, with the ancestors. It was a beautifully connecting, unifying experience. She shared the word sa. Sa. The English translation, the closest, would be love, and sa means all that is. All that is. Everything is in the word sa. And she said, when you open yourself up, sa flows through you. And when you receive the energy, receiving is ka, and then you give it the energy, which is ba. and so as we're playing the drums, we're just receiving all this love. We're opening up to all there is. We're receiving a stream of it, and then we're giving it out to each other and to the world. And there was this call that she would say. She would be singing Biniwe, 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 and we would shout back Pafumude, Pafumude, Pafumude. And Pafumude, the meaning of this word is so delicious. It's so beautiful. it means fast streaming water, like raging water, fast, like it's just cutting a path in its wake, and it's forceful, it's streaming, and you open your heart to it. So the cacao ceremony part was the heart opening, the fire, lighting the fire in our heart. And Perfume Day is this streaming water, this love that we receive, and the only way to keep the stream flowing, she said, is to give it, is to go out into the world and give it. And so when we were chanting back to her, Perfume Day, it means that the water is streaming through us, through our whole body, our whole being, and honestly from our heart center, moving out into the world. It was so electric. It was so beautiful. I would encourage anyone who's got the opportunity to experience this kind of a circle to definitely go. It is just, it was magnetic. It was beautiful. It was magic, and it was so humbling and exciting to learn about another culture, a culture I didn't know too much about. It was a West African ceremony, type of drumming and singing, and it just shows the interconnectivity, if that's a word, of all such philosophies that come from indigenous cultures, of the oneness of life, this stream of consciousness, and consciousness is love, and it encompasses all that is. And we as little human beings, individual human beings with our ego identity, we have access to this spacious part of ourselves where we can truly feel that stream coming through us and through us, coming to us and then through us. And we can choose to then be a vessel that then shares it out into the world and opens our heart and gives and gives and gives. And that it just gives me goosebumps. It makes me really emotional. It makes me feel so amazing when you're filled with this love, and the beat of the drum is just so powerful, and you're in the middle of this circle, and you're all beating this one rhythm. And I was dancing. I mean, I don't have much rhythm, but I found rhythm that night, and it was amazing. Like, it was just beating the drum. My husband's an amazing musician, so he was just going nuts on it, and he was brilliant at it. And I'm sitting there and I'm learning from him, watching him and watching the teacher. And then there's this moment that I just got swept in it, and I had the rhythm and I had the beat, and then my whole body just started dancing to the rhythm, and it was just one with this music and this connection to Sa, everything that is, this love that is, we have access to it. It's right there. It's everywhere. And we opened ourselves up to it. We received it. And then there was this conscious decision to, yes, give it freely, give it widely, give it deeply. Let it travel, let it move the earth, let it move to all corners of the earth. It was this beautiful acceptance of love. When you feel full, when your cup runneth over, that's what that feels like. You're full, and it's just overflowing. It's running over and over. There's so much of it. And Perfume Day, that beautiful word of this streaming water coming through, and the only way to keep that stream going is to give. If you shut it off, you gunk it up, you create a dam, and then something's going to burst eventually. The heart will crack open, whether it's through pain and suffering, or whether it's through absolute burst of joy. It will crack open, and you will have no choice but to just flood through and let rip, let it go to wherever it needs to go. But if you consciously say, yes, I receive it, Sa, I receive all of this energy, this love, this consciousness, all that I have access to, and I will move with it, and I will give it in whatever way comes to me, in whatever way I can think of, then you're really a vessel for love. You're a vessel for the magnitude of what you're connected to. You're connected into that, and you represent that. And in that field, we are all equal. We all have access to it, and we are all part of that one beating heart. whether we know it or not. And there was this moment where, you know, in the beginning we were just learning simple beats, and there was just this beat, you know, that came, and we were doing it in a very technical way, and then she just said, okay, now just listen to the beat. And she says, this is the most primal beat there is. And it was the heartbeat. It was our heartbeat. And it was really, really powerful. It was just this loud beating of the drums that matched the rhythm of a heartbeat. And it was like the heart of humanity, the heart of nature, of everything that exists, Sa, of everything that is. It was that beat, that rhythm. And when you align yourself with the spaciousness in your inner world, the limitless, the part of your spirit that's not contained in a body, it's the spirit that has a body, that has a mind. You're not identified as the body or the mind, but you're 2 feet in your spirit, your soul. You feel that water going through. And you feel so much larger than your body. Your spirit is so much greater than your body. And the yoga that ended off the session was just really gentle and beautiful. And we had a yoga nidra at the end where you kind of meditate and just let the energy settle and kind of come back into yourself. And, you know, there were visions that I was having that were just so relevant to my life right now. And it was such a beautiful experience. But Pafumude, that's what I want to leave you with. This raging waters that can move through you. The love that you can accept and receive and then give. So I wish all of you, Pafumude, allow the waters to flow without any kind of blockages. Just allow it to flow through you. That's all for this week. I will see you all next week for another video. If you enjoyed the video, then definitely subscribe to the blog at 3cupsfull.com.au. You'll receive the videos into your inbox weekly. And if you found it helpful, definitely share it with your friends. If you've got any questions or if you've had experiences with African drumming, please let me know. I'm so excited that I've discovered this new beautiful art form, this music that I can't wait to do more of. So I'll see you all for this week. See you guys next week. Bye.